after the Chabur with Eliyahu, which is another show that's coming up very soon, we went to Tzans, to the shul, to pray there. The light was so bright there, I had to turn down the ISO. This man right here, his name is Eliyahu, comes from Ukraine, and he collects money for people there. And he gives very powerful blessings.
Amen.
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 Amen. Amen. ברוח הקודש בלבסק, אמן. פורים חנוכה בלבדו, כל השנה אור גדול ושמחה גדול. כל מילה לשמה, כל רגע מתנה. ויתהפכו כל הבנות לזכויות, רבינו. אמן!
Amen. By the way, there's no battery on this laptop left, so a little bit of a problem here. Eliyahu was giving me a book, but he's also writing me a book apparently.
Chaim, Tovim, Shalom, V'simana Tova, and the scoot of your holy daughters.
Amen. Thank you.
Now that you're almost for Rosh Shevet.
Rosh Shevet. What's that called?
So Zat Hashem, may you always have Pirkei Avot, may you always have the ethics of our fathers and the path of the tzaddikim, especially the Rabbi Mamish, to lead you in the
This
path.
is like the Rebbe's Pirkei Avot.
Babish Rebbe's Pirkei Avot, a little bit Pirushim on his... But in Tzfat Yer HaKodesh.
Wow, this is mamash beautiful. To my dear friend, Avidan Gershon Chaim, Mary Hashem. Mary Hashem.
That's good too, Marion.
Mary Hashem. Listen, we have to marry Hashem
Yeah,
eventually.
no.
May Hashem bless you, your wife, and your babies, always with midot tovot, good deeds, ethics of our holy fathers and mothers. May the light of the Rebbe, what did it say? And all the tzaddikim be of guidance to you and your journey. Oh, that's beautiful. Bracha v'atzlacha b'chol ma'aseh yadecha. What does it say? Simchat what is it? V'ta'anuk ba'avodat Hashem. Psh, that's beautiful. Thank you, man. Chaya, where's the Gniza?
It's too holy to read. Gotta pray.
Welcome to the pod.
Wow, maybe we keep going a little bit?
As we're ending.
Bonus
we're
content right now.
The beginning is wedged in the end, and the end is wedged in the beginning.
So, guys, part 2.
You know, second episode.
Yeah, in Tzfat ways, Ashgacha Pratit, we have here a person that you've seen before. Rabbi Yehezkel Yosef Abulafia, Baruch Hashem. This is the first time you guys are meeting?
No, we met today.
Ah, you went to AKM.
Yeah.
We walked together. I forgot.
I walked all the way over to see it.
Say it for the people in the back. Abulafia. This was, there's a lot to say on...
Oh, we didn't even get into that.
Oh,
I
no,
wanted to ask you about that, actually.
Yeah, so much.
Now, this is the time. That's why.
Check out his documentary on Abulafia.
Thank you, bro. Whenever it comes out at some point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah,
So what's your connection to Abulafia? Not to this one, to his Sababa.
Couple of times for that one.
What is this?
This is 1848, 2014.
Cabernet
Cabernet Sauvignon Reserve.
Oh, very nice.
Not from Tzfat Distillery.
Yeah, I will. Sure.
Let's do it quick.
Okay.
It's okay, take your time. No stress.
Amen. What's the chances Yehezkel gets the Oregon News Cup?
You could taste the oak.
Okay.
Wait, you're leaving it on, right?
No, I'm leaving it out. Like, what if I just move it
Oh,
around?
this is a
a bit?
cool cup.
I don't know, you're going to film us?
Yeah.
Say that, you don't need to be in this one. No, I'm playing. We're three
That's how you
Chassids.
feel about everyone.
I want to hear from Yehezkel first. How did you did tell me already a bit about your journey. How have you been connecting to Jewish meditation and the light of Abulafia, who lived about 800 years ago?
How I'm doing it? I don't know.
It's more like a conversation starter of any way you want to take it.
Yeah. I mean, it opened up a doorway of so many different types of meditation. that I didn't even know about that came from our tradition. You know, I was growing up. I was more into, you know, anything modern or Buddhist. You know, I thought it was very cool. But when I found out it was from my actual family, my ancestors, I started getting deeper into it and having incredible experiences with it. And I'm still on the journey.
Love it.
And there's so many different types of meditation. There's Hibodedut, Hibonanut, going deeper within inside yourself. There's dancing.
Does Rabbi Abulafia talk about all of this?
Yeah.
He speaks about all these. Obviously, he doesn't need the terms, but
he talks about Hibodedut. Ari Kaplan, he says Hibodedut. Every time we see Hibodedut, it means meditation, and he goes into it. So highly recommends, you know.
Because Hibodedut is not just physically isolating yourself in the forest; it's isolating your mind from all the chatter and static and getting still and finding that place. And I think all these different Kabbalists are trying to help you reach that place. Now they have different methods. How do you reach a place where the outer noise in your mind gets silent and you're able to like drop in and connect to your soul?
Right.
And what was unique about Abulafia is that he gives practical methods that almost nobody talks about. Today is very popular, but he was talking about 800 years ago about
breathing,
utilizing your breath, body position, head position, using your voice, using sound. Rabbi Yehuda Albertini, the author of Sulam Haliyah, who came a couple hundred years later, he was a big student of the works of Abulafia, and he explains a lot about how to make sure your environment is right, that you're wearing white, that you're have plants in the room, that you have music, if you like, you have candles lit, that it's silent, like all. And so I've been trying to bring that to life in some events and situations, and I think it's just the start, man. We're getting going.
Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem. You should tell everybody before they come to wear all white.
Dude, cool. I like that.
I bring it to the next level.
It's a white party.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's gonna happen. That's it.
If Diddy can do it, you can do it.
Diddy could learn a lot from
if you can encourage people to go to the mikveh, before, it will bring their meditation.
This is talking about not underestimating people.
For sure.
I'm like, having deep conversation at a Shabbat dinner, but if you give people the tools today at Shabbat lunch, we're talking about mindful eating, and that the Baal Shem Tov says that when you have something pleasurable, you can think about, this is just a spark of the divine presence of the Shekhinah. How much more amazing would it be if I connected to the source? And as you're tasting something delicious, you can feel that. And somebody today was talking about, I feel like God is feeding me when I'm eating and drinking. It's an amazing meditation. However, the Arizal through the Bala Sulam and all says there's higher than that. And there's meditations and intentions you can do with God, like as you're eating and as you're drinking. I was like, that's advanced, but actually that would be an awesome event.
Yeah.
Like,
you could also say step by step, make it very simple. Like, you just take this letter and then this letter and visualize this, and these sparks are exploding within whatever it is. It's the wine. When I said Bre Priya Gafen, it exploded, and now the whole thing just became light.
Wow.
So and
you're
now I'm
ingesting the
light.
light.
Yeah, exactly.
All will be light. Yeah.
Let there be light, Avidan. Have some more. It's Pesach Sheni Tzadik. If you want some matzah.
Right now.
Right now.
Pesach Sheni.
Sunday. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly, it's Sunday.
Okay.
If you want to wash, you can wash.
The matzah's been waiting here for you.
Yeah, that's what.
Shoot, I broke it.
It's okay.
Bring another one.
That's one of those beautiful matzahs. It's also a turntable that's going to turn for his birthday. We're going to start playing.
Bring the whole one.
Chaim, maybe you join us back. I miss you. Come.
Yeah, bro.
What, you don't want a new house?
No. Nope.
Although we really love Abulafia. Tzaddik.
Maybe put it on the floor.
Amen.
I'll just sit here.
Amen.
I'll just jump in the podcast often.
Yeah. I don't know if you've done ever his. If you've ever done his.
I think I've listened to one or two
on YouTube.
Yeah,
amazing. I listen to them quite frequently, and I really like. Yehezkel has been a very important friend for me because through Biyam Darkecha, through this book, the teachings of Rabbi Shemai Morgenstern, I'm getting now more into the avoda of having kavanah on Shemot and It's always something that I've been aware of. I have a Sephardi Siddur my whole entire life. The whole entire thing is Rishei Tevot, right? But I'm getting more and more into it now.
Okay,
and
I got a question for you. How do you...
כמה הוא פותח את ידיך, מסביר לכוחי רצון, ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ.
Amen. Dude, everything is so intentional here.
Matzah.
Did you do that intentionally?
We do the afikomen. Just do a whole seder.
I still have my afikomen. I'm just kidding.
Who was it? Eli Bear, last year, the CEO of Atzala, did Pesach Sheni. He was in a coma during Pesach. And when he came out, he was in Miami in a coma. He came out of a coma, came to Eretz Yisrael, and he did Pesach Sheni. A full entire Seder.
It was because of COVID, right?
Yeah, he got sick. And,
So wait, you can still do actual Seder, right?
yeah, he got all the full
way,
heter to
Rabbi
do a
Shimon-
full
wow.
Seder.
Oh,
On,
wow.
He did a full Seder. He was in a coma during Pesach. So
Wow.
Pesach Sheni was Pesach.
Wow.
So he did literally a Pesach Sheni.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
and actually...
He actually used Pesach Sheni.
The Rabbanim-
Used for what is meant
The
to be
Rabbanim
used
said,
for.
Yeah, he did a
that's
full
amazing.
Seder. He did a full Seder.
Chaim to that.
Chaim. I was saying Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was the first one to get quarantined for 13 years.
Yeah.
It was a real quarantine.
That makes sense.
You're going to ask something.
When you have kavanah of the letters and yichudim and that whole world of the Arizal, how do you connect to that? And actually, he was telling me that the Bala Sulam does a good job of bringing it psychologically, like to yourself. But because a name, what is a name? A name is a way to connect
It's an
to
expression.
someone. You're called honey. You're called by your name. You're called by
Brother,
he
son,
says honey,
father.
but
I call him honey
He
all
calls
the
you
time,
honey.
by the way.
Your wife says whatever, but he's.
My wife doesn't like it.
So maybe that's one idea, is like you're thinking about when you're saying the letters or the name, you're like connecting to God through his name. But like it could just become a bunch of letters that you're just looking at and it becomes almost like a pure faith thing, but it's not something.
So up until now, it was a pure faith thing where it's like,
It's also
I
good.
have no idea, but the rabbi said to do this, and that's how it's written in my Siddur, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Contemplate the letters, pay, and then aleph, and then yud when you say patech
Parts
yedeh,
of
right?
Bach.
That I haven't got there yet. But the letters, very simple. Now, Baruch Hashem, through Biyam Darkecha, it's I'm getting more like, okay, well, in Ashrei, there's 10 different Havayas. There's 10 different Yud Kei Vav Keis, and each one has a different Nikud. And it starts in Keter, and it goes all the way down. And through my Amidah, every single Yud Kei Vav Kei has a different Nikud.
Yeah, it's kind of a system.
And like, I had a question. I was like, I got to this week, right? I've known this, right? But I haven't tapped into it. That's the thing. Now I'm trying to tap into it more. So like this week, I got to the prayer in the Malchut, right? That the Malchut Risha, the evil empire, will be taken out of the world. And there, the Nikud of the Havaya of the name of Hashem, the vowels there is Keter. I was like, why is Keter? And then I was like, oh, Malchut Harisha. Malchut is from kingship. It's the Keter, okay. But like, there's just that for me already changes my Amidah. You get me? Like, the fact that what I'm praying about, that's rooted in this lofty place that's Keter. Like, so do I know all the integrals of what this all means? No, I don't. But
so I think you'll connect to this. Every vowel is a different one of the sefirot, right?
Yeah.
Different one of the soul traits or divine traits. When I was doing one of these Abulafia events, and we went from left to right.
You actually do the head movements with the people.
So I do it on a basic level. I'm not doing it with Hashem's name or anything, just keeping it
physical.
So when we moved left to right, and I taught them that left side is Gevura, severity, and right side is Chesed, love. One of the insightful thing, she said, oh, you can think about how you're moving in your life from severity to a place of love. Like you're actually can start, and Abulafia does that, helps you bring to life these experiences and these yichudim.
Yeah. I also believe when you like combine your body and your soul together, like doing a movement or something, it's even more powerful. You know, so like
your own body's like doing something. It's
exactly.
not just a
It's in the Zohar, no, too, that when a person lifts his hand to do an Avera, there's all the like thousands of Malachei Chabala, like destruction angels that are coming.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like we all know that like that whoosh, right? Like that wave of air that comes when you have movement from the car or whatever, right? So the same thing for a mitzvah. When you lift your hand to do a mitzvah,
it's affecting all of us.
thousands of angels, of positive angels flowing with.
So you're right. A mitzvah is totally bringing godliness and purity into the physical body, and you're saying in terms of meditation, usually meditative stuff is more internal. But the Abulafia method is making it part of your body, making these lofty experiences like physical, which is really why yoga's taken off. And I mean, I train jiu-jitsu for some strong guys. That's their meditative experience.
We
need the body.
Jiu-jitsu, by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think jiu-jitsu.
Orthodox jiu-jitsu.
Hasidic.
I never actually did it, but my name is Elio. Right, this is Elio Gracie. That's where it all comes from. But I never done it. But I always look at jiu-jitsu, especially Brazilian jiu-jitsu, as like the Kabbalah. Like it's insult. It's because it doesn't end.
Sure.
No matter what, it's not like karate or taekwondo. Like, these are the amount of attacks we have. Jiu-jitsu is infinite. No matter
it's human chess. There's endless combinations. But there's something about being physical that people find can help you drop in deeper. When you're able to get the body moving, you're able to like get into like a Zen state.
Have you heard of Kabbalah yoga?
I have.
Shamai Gazlan's dad, Adi Gazlan.
Adi I've talked to.
So he found something from Avram Abulafia. I think it was from a student, and it was of doing an aleph, like actually doing the pose. And he kind of based a lot of his whole practice on that.
Interesting.
So I practiced with him. I'm telling you, like I love yoga. It was like I enjoyed it, and then finding a kosher version was incredible, and like actually doing the aleph, meditating with my eyes closed. It was like
go for maybe just because this is a deep in my heart. But explain please right now, like what's kosher yoga versus what's not kosher in yoga.
Okay, so
it's important. It's very important.
When you have to be careful where the teachings of yoga that you practice come from. A lot of it comes from the East, right? So it all comes from Avram Avinu. Like he sent the children to the East with gifts. So they're very good at meditative practices, yoga. So a lot of their practice is with idols and the incense and a lot of their kavanas, their intentions is worshiping something other than God.
So they took it to Asia, and from Asia it fell into the hands of these idol worshippers.
Yeah, today it became more mainstream, and not everybody has those kavanas, of course.
But really, the snake is a spiritual being that they have.
Kundalini yoga is more intense, but the Americanized yoga, for the most part, is simply body movements.
But isn't there a problem? Like Goodman Locks talks about it, right? That when you say the name. Like if you say get into the dog position, no matter what you do, you're saying get into the dog position. That's doing that's according to how you say it.
But the dog position, downward dog. Go ahead.
No, you were just a bit.
I'm saying if you say okay, now get into the yud position, it's all good.
Biduk.
You know, and it's literally the same position.
Same exact position, and it's kosher. That's what I've heard explained by rabbis as well. But when you use their names, right, snake, dog, cat, all these things, then like you're using what they use. So
does it come down to this, to not using the names, or to switching the names?
It's bro. It's moving your body. There's nothing wrong with that.
And what I like you said is it comes originally not from the people in the East. It actually comes from Avram Avinu, who then
the people in the East are his children.
There's a crazy midrash.
So the origins are holy.
There's a crazy midrash that says that when Avram sent his children with gifts to the East, which is mystical secrets, Rashi says Shem Tuma, God's name in impurity, but doesn't mean he gave it Tuma, it became Tuma. He gave them pure names. Yeah. When he sent, it says in the midrash that he told them, listen, my children from Ishmael and from later Esav, my grandchild, their descendants are going to afflict my child Isaac's descendants, and they're going to be punished for that. And I don't want you to be part of that. So stay where you are. Stay where you are in the East. Leave the Jewish people alone. But in the final days, in the future, I want you to come back and help them connect. And through that, you will merit the Shufra Shel Mashiach. You will merit the beauty of the Messianic days.
Is it midrash?
Yeah.
And you had China helped a lot of, not tons, but Mir Yeshiva continue to exist
True,
because of
true.
China.
And you know, a
How
lot
so?
of Jews.
They gave over 300 visas to. They brought the whole entire yeshiva to China, pretty much. Whoever they could get out of. Yeah.
And a lot of Jews have reconnected through Buddhism and through these paths, and now it's our job to show it how it's rooted also in our tradition, you know. But they've woken up. A lot of Jews.
The mere yeshiva guys. Okay, think of this. This is the Holocaust. A crazy story. Okay, Holocaust. People running away from the Holocaust. They get to China. Okay, Polish, whatever they are, European, right? Ashkenazi Jews. They get to China. They get to this place. It's so hot there that they sent a letter to ask for a heter to get into their boxers and lie on the ground to learn Torah.
Wow.
What is their problem? They're running away from Hitler, Imach Shimon. They're now in China. It's boiling hot. What's on their mind? We need to learn Torah, but we can't do it wearing clothing. Can we lay on the cold marble floor just in boxers so that we'll stay clothed so we can focus on our Torah?
At least they're wearing boxers.
Amazing.
Inside.
The Rashbi had to do that with Eliezer in the
dirt.
And they get buried in sand. Right?
Actually, when you dig deep enough, 3 meters, so the temperature is always stable.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's already more
Keep
complicated,
cool.
so I don't know if they knew that. So
I don't know.
did they get the heter? Is the question?
maybe-
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think they did. I think
It's
it
a
was
good analogy for meditation. We are all hectic in our minds, so if you go a couple of meters deep, everything's still really cool.
L'chaim, l'chaim.
Time, guys.
I've also heard many different, like Rabbi Rome and other rabbis, where they had a guru who told them to come to Israel because they have to go back to their roots. So
There you go. It's a great example.
They're helping.
Dalai Lama did this with a woman from. He sent her to the Rebbe. No, you know this story?
No.
Said like she searched for searching a Jewish girl. Obviously, she never went into Judaism. Gets to Dalai Lama. She was rich. She got a meeting with him, and he like figured out that she was Jewish and from New York. He's like, "What are you doing by me? The last level that I get to is where the Rebbe starts." And sent her back to New York. Go talk to Rav Schneerson. She became from. Not from what I know, she became from. But she was seeking out the Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama said, "Wait, you're from New York? The biggest tzaddik in the world's there. Like, what are you doing by me?"
Very interesting.
There are Kabbalists that talk about going down like we would in the temple times.
Yeah.
We prayed like the Muslims do today. That's our prayers, and some Sephardim do that still to this day. But you pray with your head down on the ground, equal to your knees and your legs, to symbolize that your mind knows God no more than your foot does. It's equal, and putting your body in those positions.
It's the
brings home these
Rambamists,
ideas.
no? The Rambamists, they're the ones that still do that.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
could be.
I love doing that. When
There's a
it's
shul
like Yom
in-
Kippur and
Yeah.
everyone just goes down.
The only time we can do it, but it's worth it.
And then I
That
always
one
forget.
time.
I'm like, did I bring a towel already? Like trying to find something on the floor.
In my Jerusalem syndrome days, I used to lock myself in my room in yeshiva and pray like that.
It's from Daniel. It's from Daniel.
Jerusalem
Daniel
syndrome.
taught us 3 things.
Yeah, I definitely had Jerusalem syndrome. For sure.
Okay?
I'm good, Baruch Hashem. Now I have Tzfat
It's
syndrome.
healthcare. they have Jerusalem has that on the insurance. That's one of the-
No, I used to. I was like, what are these Muslims like? This is us. Like, a lot of these things. Like, this is us.
We
This is
used to for
us.
sure pray like that. There's no way we
100%.
started out like this.
No, we didn't.
Did you?
It's
Yeah,
no.
there's a lot. to
It
talk
says
about.
in Torah.
I was about to drop.
Go
some
ahead,
other
drop it.
stuff.
We're
Yeah.
past times. This is the second podcast. We're
It's
going
really
deep
your
now.
podcast.
I don't think we shut off
2.0.
the camera and go into bringing mode full on. Yeah, I found it interesting. I heard that in the Great Synagogue of Rome, until 1965, Orthodox, they used to play music and the organ. They would play, and a lot of things we've lost, I think, because it's been taken by other religions, and we don't want to mimic, even though it
Yeah,
comes from
right.
us.
Yeah.
So bowing down, music, and our services, a lot of things.
Meditation.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Look at how many people would like jump on, because it might mimic something else. But if it's in our sources, we shouldn't care.
Also, the inyan of the tzaddik. Because of Christianity, a lot of Jews went
A
away from the
Mashiach,
side of
a
the
messianic
tzaddik.
figure. People are like, oh, that Christianity. It's like, where do you think they got it from?
Yeah.
My house, where I grew up, is next to one of the biggest Catholic churches in San Diego.
Wow.
And when I go into the pool and do mikvah, I was like, oh, that's where baptism came from. Like,
Yeah.
you don't think?
They make a whole big party. I'm like, I do this every day.
Although, what's that big deal?
When you convert to Judaism,
And
you
here's
get
some
the-
crackers to go with it.
We also get
Oh,
the
we
third meal.
we eat the cracker too. You're right.
There you go.
But this is not blood. This is just wine.
Don't tell them.
Think.
It's actually not
What
kosher,
happened to your
it's
neighbor?
blood, so-
You know,
Sure, okay.
Definitely not kosher. By the way, Why can't we have blood? According to like 2 Torah portions ago recently, why can't you have blood? One of the reasons given is that the life force is in the blood, and that's also, by the way, why sacrifices were so beloved, because it was the life force of the animal. So I thought it was interesting. What do we do when we lost sacrifices? And a lot of Christians talk about this. Like, what do you do now that you don't have sacrifices? So we say
prayer.
Tefillah. Prayer took the place of sacrifices. One beautiful thing I was thinking about that is that prayer, what do you use to pray? Your breath. Breath is also your life force. We substituted another aspect of our life force for the other life force of blood, and that is the way some say fasting, because your blood actually.
Oh, you heard it.
But
you ever seen the Ben Ish Chai? You're exactly right, man. Ben Ish Chai, when you do the fast, specifically also between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, those 10 days, right? Or he's also to fast. The Ben Ish Chai has a tefillah to receive the fast and to take it out, and there it's written there that the bad breath that I have should be remembrance to the smell of the korban.
Interesting.
Yeah, which it smelled bad
Seriously.
to us, but good to Hashem, which makes sense.
Good point. And why? By the way, one thing I like about Reach Nichoach, it says why God says it's a nice smell, the sacrifices. So you're like, what do you mean God doesn't smell stuff?
Yeah.
So it says,
Well,
because
it
you
doesn't
did my
smell
will, it gave me pleasure. That, and what I love about that is, like, we think of sacrifices today as like, what in the world? Like,
Yeah.
But God says, I know. And you still did it. And that is what gives me, when you do things you don't get and you do it just because I asked it, that's what gives me pleasure.
And we're sacrificing our time to do it.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
was
lot
going
of
to
time.
say that.
And money.
Tefillah, right.
Yeah, and money. Yeah.
So you're talking about sacrifices, you're talking about prayer, right? Or am I wrong? Yeah.
Prayer.
It's all one, no?
Soon to be a nice big barbecue at Abba's house, you know.
Absolutely. According to the Rambam, I don't know if there will be sacrifices, but
Whatever happens.
I'm ready for it. We're ready for it.
Either way, there's going to be a band and a concert. So
As long as that's happening, I'm cool.
a lot of this, I mean.
One flame, more than one. It's going to be called
It's
more.
going to be naturally. Besides, naturally that.
Oh, the whole room's going to be fucked out.
What's the
What do you mean?
gematria of
The
the
world
smoke?
will be DMT.
Yeah, that's true.
If not more.
Wait, what's Gematria of smoke?
Do it.
Ashan?
Yeah, Ashan. What's the gematria?
420.
420.
Oh,
No.
interesting.
I was gonna do some gematria,
But
but
Hashem
then
did that
I
on purpose, bro. He knew what 420 was going to be for the human
That's
race.
so
you know?
funny.
Wow.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
Okay. All right. On that note, L'chaim. I think we shut off the camera. We go into Farbrengen mode now.
Okay,
That's
L'chaim,
it.
L'chaim.
That's it. L'chaim, everyone.
L'chaim, guys, bracha
The world
v'atzlacha.
comes
We have
to
another
spot.
person to follow, Abulafia. Give him a bracha. Give him a bracha. Give him a bracha.
May you all be b'simcha, always happy, be grateful, and see the good in everything, the good in yourselves, the good in others, the good in every situation, and just enjoy life. And may you be successful in everything you put your mind to. And let's bring Mashiach together.
Amen.
Amen.
L'chaim,
So
l'chaim.
beautiful. So nice.
All right, guys. Just once again, subscribe, do all that stuff. Blah blah blah. Bye.